Sean Meyers here, the Carlow Sports Network, as we welcome you into another season preview on the Carlow Sports Network, looking at the 2024 season for Carlow University men's and women's golf. I'm now joined by Ryan Shank, the head coach. And first off, Ryan, thanks for doing this. How's everything going with you?
Everything's going very well, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Ab- Absolutely. Glad to talk about the upcoming season. I'm sure it's an exciting time. Let's look back, though, first at the men's season in 2023. How did you evaluate how that team performed a year ago?
Um, I saw improvement throughout the spring, um, and obviously that's what we're looking for. Uh, our numbers were a little bit low, so one of our top five really has never played much golf before. So we'd have a good, those first four were uh, scores were pretty good, and then his score kind of struggled a little bit, but he got better throughout the season. So we didn't do as well as we would hoped in the conference and stuff like that, in the matches that we played. But did see improvement in everybody's game throughout the semester, definitely.
Are the numbers trending in a better direction for this season on the men's side?
Yes, we have nine total. We have three newcomers. Um, Logan Conley is a grad transfer from St. Vincent's. And then we have two freshmen, um, Brady Donovan from Brentwood, and Jackson Faulkner, I believe, is from Franklin Regional. So yes, numbers are definitely trending, and we're very excited about including those three new people on the roster.
Well, talking about the newcomers, obviously you said the one is very experienced in Logan, but what expectations do you have for those three, and how much of a impact could they make this season?
Um, I mean, my goals for anybody that plays is just to get better, take coaching, um, and well, seeing them, over the past couple of days, we had practice here. Uh, Both Brady and Logan, I think, are going to help this year considerably. Jackson again is kind of new to the game, but what I've seen so far, he's coachable, willing to learn. So I think he's at some point he's gonna be impactful in the program. But again, one of the things that uh, I'm trying to do is just grow the game. Like I said, if you have limited experience like Jackson does, um, but I'm willing to take you on if you're a good student, if you're a good kid, and you want to get better. I think the coaching staff can do that for any player that wants to come into the program. So,
You do have some experienced guys back who have been through a season or two with the Celtics. So, who are the players on the men's side that you're going to be leaning upon?
really, Riley Stevenson, our senior. I talked to him a little bit yesterday at practice, and I'm like, hey, what do you want to accomplish? And he played a lot of golf this summer, and so I think he's ready to make that next step, and he just needs to be a little more consistent. But Christian is going to be important for us. Logan Smith is going to be very important to us. Zach Juback. Again, Jubeck is, he played well Sunday for the first nine holes. And he struggled on the back nine. And I'm like, listen, as a freshman, I expect that. But as a sophomore now, that has to change. So we're expecting those four guys to step up big for us this year.
So, objectives that you set for the men's team for this upcoming season would be what?
And again, I'm a pretty simple coach. Just let's see improvement. Let's see improvement every time we pick up a club, every time we practice, every time we go into a match. I want to see at least a one stroke improvement. Now, obviously, I would like more than that, but as long as you go one every time you touch a club, every time we have practice, then I'm going to be satisfied with that. So that's the big thing. And then just overall, I want to see a confident group of golfers. I want when they step over the golf ball, I want them to be confident in their swing. They have great swings, they have great games, and I try to instill that into them every chance that I get. and I just want them to be a confident group.
Well, let's shift to the women's side. Some of the same questions here. What were your takeaways from how last season went for the Carlow women?
I was very excited with the improvement that I saw overall. Um, the especially two of the ladies made significant improvement throughout the year. Ava Grew and Macy Lorgan. They did a great job. But all of them came along a little bit. Jenna Norman did a good job. Emily, um, she showed some improvement as well. But the whole group as a whole showed some improvement, but some more significant than others.
So obviously they're trending in the right direction. I'm sure you wanted them to continue their work during the off season. So what were the areas of focus that you tried to have them address?
Consistency in short game. Um, you know, most of the ladies can drive the ball very well, but when they get around the green, they don't have quite the touch that they need to have. So that's where most of the strokes are counted anyway. So if you can get up and down, if you can chip in one putt, your game is going to be significantly better. And so we're trying to instill that in the preseason here this year, consistent, confident golf swings with a much better job around the greens and on the green.
I believe last year's women's team did not have a senior on the roster. It feels like it's a much more veteran and experienced group this year. Do you have that same sense?
I do, and again, I'm expecting big things. Emily's the only senior this year. One piece of information that I'd like to pass on is Emma Shuttleworth, who would be a senior. She graduated in 3 years. She was going to grad school at Carlow. She was accepted. She was ready to play, and then just recently, she was offered a position at Children's Hospital as a nurse, and she took that, and so she is now uh, doing her life's work, and I'm very proud of that. But they're a veteran group. They know what I expect. They know what the coaching staff expects, and then we just need to be more consistent, game in and game out.
I know probably similar to what you said on the men's side, but what goals have you established for the women?
Again, consistency and confidence. They've worked very hard on their game last year. They showed great improvement. I want to take that momentum and keep moving forward for them. Those are the two biggest ones. Yeah.
Last couple questions are just more general to both the men's and the women's. You talked about the area of focus, trying to find that consistency during the off season. What are some ways that players can improve, whether it be in the summer when they're off campus or maybe during the off season when they are at Carlow?
And again, you really, I believe the only way that you can get good at something is to just repetition. Get more reps and do it. So I tried to get them to play as much as they can. I tell them to play as much as they can. Always, even if you can't get to, a golf course, just go to their chipping and putting green. And if you have 45 minutes or an hour, then just chip and putt for that time period. And again, the more you have the club in your hand, the more likely you are to show improvement. So that's the main focus. We gave them individual little pieces of information to work on over the summer. Looks like most of them have done that. So we're pretty excited about this year.
Lastly, what's notable about the Celtics' schedule this season?
We're actually playing in a couple, one new tournament on the men's side, the Region 5 Showcase, located outside of Cleveland. And it's gonna be a test. There's a lot of good schools there. It's a 2-day tournament, and so we're gonna get tested early. I said the AMCC is quality golf from top to bottom. So we were playing a couple tournaments in there. We're playing at Nemacolin for Waynesburg has a tournament this year. So there's some up and coming things and some good things that to look forward to. So
And
people are
I
very
would
excited.
imagine a lot of weekend golfers would be so envious of the opportunity to play at a place like Nemacolin.
That's what I'm telling. I'm trying to tell them, like, listen, you got to take advantage of this. I said, even if you play bad, you're playing one of the nicest courses in Pennsylvania. And they said, same with Grove City Country Club is beautiful. Connesson is a nice course. Yacht is a nice course. So they're playing very nice courses. Sinking Valley, Summit Golf Course, uh, they're quality golf. Steubenville Country Club. So yeah, just anytime that you have the opportunity to play golf at one of those places, enjoy the day. Yeah. So
Hopefully, a lot of your golfers will be enjoying their day many times throughout this fall and into the spring as well. Ryan, thank you so much for doing this.
thank you for your time. Go Celtics.
Absolutely. That is Ryan Shank here on the season preview. We continue here on the season preview looking at Carlow Golf for the 2024 season. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by Zach Kubeck here. And first off, glad to talk to you. How's everything going with you?
Yeah, it's going good. Very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. And I want to talk about this upcoming season, but first I want to look back to last year. So, how did you evaluate how your first year went?
I was a little disappointed towards the end of the season. The first practice we had, I shot 79 in the practice round, and I was looking to shoot scores similar to that, but just never really got close to that throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, with school too as a factor, making it harder to fully focus mentally out there on the course, but I'm looking to definitely improve of what I did and be more consistent on the course.
Well, I'm sure it was a big adjustment to go from high school golf to the college game. So, what were some of the big transitions that you had to deal with?
Yeah, high school is all just matches. There's no such thing as really tournaments or anything like that. So when you show up to these tournaments and you got 15 different teams with at least five golfers from every single team, it's a lot different because one, you're not even playing with like your teammates technically. You might see them every other hole or so and just say hi, but you don't really have like your teammates to kind of lean on if you're not doing well or to, I guess, ease some of the tension and talk to. So you're just with a bunch of people from other teams you don't really know, and you got to perform at your highest level.
What do you think your greatest strength is as a player?
Probably my ability to perform under pressure. In high school, not only did I play golf, but I also swam as well. I made it all the way to the state level, competing with some of the best swimmers in the state that went on to go to play Division 1 in swimming. So just learning how to compete with higher level athletes and performing at your best.
What club do you feel most comfortable with?
Probably my 60 degree or lob wedge, depending on what you call it. I feel like I can hit a variety of shots with it that some players can't do, and always seem to put it pretty close to the pin and be able to get up and down a safe par on holes.
I know you said you got up to a great start last year as a freshman. What's the lowest round you've ever shot for 18?
73, which was one over in 18 holes.
I would assume that you were pretty happy after that day.
Yeah, that was fun. That was actually in a tryout too for my high school team, which was very exciting.
So, what goals have you set for yourself and for the team this year?
I just want to be more consistent. Sort of ride the momentum I created at the beginning of the season, coming out of playing a good bit of golf over the summer, and just trying to perform and compete with some of the better players in the conference.
Is there a particular event you're most looking forward to?
Probably the conference championship, just because it's usually a nicer course that we play, and you get to compete to see where your team stands after the season's over.
Lastly, fill in the blank. This will be a successful season if,
We stay consistent, and we have four golfers shoot somewhere around 80 on a round of 18.
well, fingers crossed that it's 80 or even better if all
Exactly.
goes according to plan. Thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate the
Yeah,
time.
of course. Thanks for having me.
That is sophomore Zach Kubeck here on the season preview. We're all along here on the season preview looking at the 2024 season for Carlow Golf. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by a junior, Ava Grew. How's everything going with you?
It's going good.
Good to hear. I'm excited to talk about this upcoming season. Before I do that, however, I want to look back at last season. So, how did you evaluate how you performed?
I think I had the best season this far in my college career so far.
Now, I know that I'm sure we're happy with that, you still want to get even better.
Yes.
So, what was your focus for how you can improve throughout this off season?
I wanted to improve on my putting, so I've been working through that all summer, and I have like a little set up putting place at my house that I've been working on.
Have you seen immediate results from that?
Yes, yes.
Good to hear. So you're now a junior. So thinking back to your career at this point, do you have a favorite moment that comes to mind?
I think it was when we first got a trophy, which was last year. We played at Grove City Country Club, and we got second place overall, and that was a pretty memorable moment for Carlow.
Now, golf is a sport that naturally is more inclined towards individual performance, but there is a team aspect as well. So when
Yes.
you're thinking of goals, what do you have in mind individually and for the team?
Just goals is to work, teamwork, and support each other. You have to have that motivation behind it, and I think as long as we work together, we'll make a pretty good team.
Do you have anything for yourself?
Yeah, just making sure I stay positive because that does make an impact in the game of golf. Once you get that negative mindset, it's hard to come back from that.
When you think of your team as a whole, is there a particular player or maybe even a couple that come to mind for who might make significant strides this year?
Yeah, I'm thinking Lily Hope. That's my roommate. I'm a big supporter of her, and she's been working on her game all summer too.
I mean, sure, you're keeping her in line too as a roommate,
Yes.
right? What's your favorite part of your home course at Youghiogheny?
I like just the challenge of it. Youghiogheny is one of the hardest country clubs around, like Pittsburgh, PA, I would assume, and it's definitely challenging walking 18 holes up and down.
Had you ever played there before you joined Carlow?
Yes, I have. My pap works there, so.
Well, there you go. That's a nice little connection.
Yes.
Let's talk about the coaching staff that you have, Coach Shank and his assistants. What are your favorite aspects of them?
They're like family. They really are like family. They're super nice. They definitely help uplift the team, and they're always there for you academically as well, and family life. They're always going to support you through everything.
Lastly, what do you think makes this year's version of the Celtics special?
I think it's us girls have been together for, I'm going on my third year. It's been basically the same girls, and we have a really close bond together. So I think that makes us pretty special.
Hopefully that yields a lot of success this year.
Yes.
Ava, thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate the time. That's Ava Grew, a junior here on this season preview.